Welcome to the 2020-2021 Digital Celebration of the Association of Women in Finance Peak Awards. My name is Parveen Walia, and I am the president of the AWF for the 2020-2021 year. Congratulations to all of our honorees. In this episode, we celebrate Kylie Dickson in the category of Rising Star. It is my honor to welcome our presenting sponsor, HSBC. This is HSBC's 9th year as Peak's presenting sponsor, and it is my pleasure to introduce Linda Seymour, President and CEO of HSBC Canada.
Thank you, Parveen. I'm delighted to present on behalf of HSBC Bank Canada. HSBC is thrilled to return for the 9th year as a presenting sponsor of the Peak Awards and to honor individuals who have made significant advancements for women working in the field of finance. At HSBC, we are determined to do our part to accelerate women's progress in the workplace, which is why HSBC sets aggressive global commitments for diverse representation. I'm proud to say that the women make up more than half of HSBC Bank's senior leadership team and board of directors combined. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the 2020-2021 Peak honorees, Kylie Dickson, Catherine McLeod-Seltzer, Nancy Harrison, Scott Thompson, and Cynthia Lim. Congratulations from all of us at HSBC Bank Canada.
Thank you, Linda. Please welcome Pamela McDonald, Director of Communications and Education from the BC Securities Commission, our honoring sponsor. Pamela will introduce Kylie Dickson, our honoree in the category of Rising Star, and lead us through a fireside chat.
The BC Securities Commission is honored to be part of this event and to introduce the 2020-2021 Peak Award honoree in the Rising Star category, Kylie Dickson. Kylie is an experienced executive in the mining industry, currently serving as chair of the Audit Committee of Fortuna, a TSX-listed mining company with a market cap of over $1.7 billion. Her 16 years of accomplishment in finance, accounting, and business development have been marked by a willingness to take on challenges that would intimidate her peers, and then she goes on to exceeding everybody's expectations. Kylie began her career at KPMG, where she was quickly promoted to the position of audit manager, focused on the mining sector. She then worked as the corporate controller with Minefinders Corporation, handling complex projects and transactions. At the age of 32, Kylie became the Chief Financial Officer for Esperanza Resources Corporation, where she directed the finance and accounting functions and developed the finance team at the company's office in Mexico. At Esperanza, Kylie was instrumental in securing a $34 million equity financing, and she helped execute Alamos Gold's acquisition of Esperanza Resources in 2013. Next, Kylie founded Anthem United Incorporated, and she served as its CFO. Kylie then played a role in merging Anthem United, Lowell Copper, and Gold Mountain Mining to form JDL Gold Corporation. Those who want to know more about Kylie's stellar career can read more in the Peak Awards section of the AWF website. Welcome, Kylie.
Thank you, Pamela.
In my industry, communications and public affairs, it's not unusual to see women involved and to see women involved at senior levels in companies. But that's not always, what we see in the mining industry, although I think there is now a trend to seeing more women involved in that industry. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience about being a woman in the mining industry?
It's a good time to be a woman in this industry. I think people are really starting to recognize the benefits to diversity, and it's become a real focus of companies in the mining industry. So in that sense, there are a lot of board and management positions that women are being interviewed for and are encouraged to explore. There's definitely some challenges, but there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, I think there, as you say, there are more opportunities for women in that industry. You've founded a company of your own at such a young age. And how did you find the courage to do that? What gave you the courage to spur you on to do that?
While it was a risk, I always knew that if something were to go wrong, I had my accounting background to fall back on. Thankfully, things went well for us. We were surrounded by very supportive shareholders and advisors, and were able to to take that company to the next level throughout all these numerous acquisitions and mergers and such. But it really, having that support system around makes things a lot easier.
And, we've all faced different challenges as we've moved on in our careers. And can you tell us what your biggest challenge has been that you've faced in your own career?
Trying to balance the personal and the professional can be a struggle at times. And, I have 3 young children, not knowing if I was doing the right thing by going back to work, but also feeling like I was going to be the best mom, having those extra challenges outside of the home. There's a lot of internal struggle sometimes when you're trying to decide how to move forward in your career and at home. And then you end up taking 6 or 9 or 12 months off. And it's that worry of that, out of sight, out of mind. And am I going to be able to come back and step into the same role or a different role, or, be able to help my company in the same way that I did early on in my career?
How important has the ability to embrace change helped you in your career?
It kind of feels a bit like it's everything. Like my life in the last 12 years has changed so much, from single and no children to now having 3 children, and their needs are constantly changing. So on a day-to-day basis, you're having to figure out that. And then also trying to figure out how to manage life is a challenge. As things change, you really need to learn to adapt. The mining industry itself is those highs and lows. In my case, you take off for 9 months and you come back and the industry is just completely different. So you're needing to adapt and change to different circumstances throughout really your whole career.
You are a woman who has had a lot of success in your career, change and ups and downs for sure. But of all the success that you've achieved, what would you say or define as your greatest success?
I feel like I would have to say my family. I think the way I've been able to get to a point where I've worked really hard and managed a lot of difficult times with a young family, and gotten to the point where I really feel like we've set our children up for success. And I'm now able to be involved a lot more on a day-to-day basis with them, and volunteering in the community and helping out in ways that I wouldn't have necessarily thought in my 20s. That would be what drives me and makes me the happiest. But now that I'm here, worked really hard to get to a point where I can volunteer at the Little League and help out on events in the community. And it makes me very proud that we've gotten to that point.
That's great. And so if you could leave us all with one snippet of advice, what would it be?
Really align yourself with supportive people that have similar goals. Sometimes you don't think that you're ready for something, and you really need that support system to push you through.
On behalf of the BC Securities Commission, everybody here, we wish you continued success in the mining industry and everything else that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela.
Please welcome Natasha Savard, Vice President, Head, Wealth Management Canada Training and Development from RBC Dominion Securities, our scholarship sponsor, who will be providing the closing remarks to our program.
We are honored to participate in the digital celebration of this year's Peak Awards as its scholarship sponsor. As the cost of tuition continues to climb, scholarship assistance for students has become increasingly necessary to make education accessible and affordable. With the 2020 Peak Awards postponed due to the global pandemic, fundraising for this important scholarship fund was also put on hold, yet scholarships continued to be funded under this program throughout this period. This is why RBC Dominion Securities continued to contribute to the scholarship fund during this difficult time. We now invite you to do the same. If you'd like to make a contribution, please go to www.vancouverfoundation.ca/AWF. On behalf of everyone at RBC Dominion Securities, we'd like to once again congratulate the 2020-2021 Peak honorees, and thank you for watching the digital celebration of the Peak Awards.